have you aboard with us here today as we come to you over the air on 106.3 KXnO, but also we're testing some things out, Lucas. What's happening?
It's been a while since you and I have done something together.
Yes.
Normally it's high school sports, so we usually doing some late night stuff together, but this will be fun. We're going to test the waters on some new things.
We are. We're going to play around a little bit. We have some new ideas and innovation perhaps coming our way. So we're doing a trial run here with a little video aspect to it as well. You can search on YouTube and find our channel. It's KXnO Radio is where you can find things there. And hopefully in the coming days and weeks, we'll be on there with all three of our local shows starting each morning, as you can hear Lucas and Alec and Tyler and the whole crew in the mornings from 6 until 9 o'clock.
I'm not in the mornings. Come on, man.
Oh, yeah. No.
Come on, man.
It's you and Sean from 2 to 5, and then me and Ken in the middle of the day from noon until 2. So we're working on some things, getting it all started, but we're not here to talk about what we're working on. We're here to talk a little sports and talk about the Hawkeyes, woulda, shoulda, coulda, 71-68 in a performance that looked much different than what we saw Saturday against Penn State.
It looked a lot different. If this team that we saw tonight would have showed up over the weekend, they would have won the game.
Yeah.
Like plain and simple, there's no arguing that. This game also went a lot different than I thought it would. I thought Iowa was going to this was not a matchup that was going to go in their favor in any way. We know Iowa struggles against big teams, and Michigan has some of the best bigs in the entire country. They're going to have the Big Ten Player of the Year. We saw just how good Mara is tonight. He was dominating the whole time. But for Iowa, Trent, I'm not one who believes in moral victories. I don't believe in them in any way, shape, or form. But the way that Iowa played tonight against this Michigan team, I do feel happy with the way that they played.
They performed. They showed up. They didn't wilt when they got down by 10. And we've seen that a few different times from this Iowa team. I'm with you. That's hard, and especially this deep into the season, to be searching for moral victories, because it goes from a team safely in the tournament. We're talking about how they can move up to the seed list, stay off the 8-9 game. Those are the conversations we're just having really a week back. And now here we are today. Well, they still feel good, but the lingering frustration that I have is these close losses and end game situations and what could have been giving the ball up, not getting the switch. And listening to McCollum on the way in here this evening, and he mentioned Bennett didn't get the switch that he wanted on that not the final possession with the final shot, but the one before that, when they had a chance at, 68-66 at the time?
Yeah, they were down by 2.
Yeah, a chance to shoot for the tie or even take the lead with the three-pointer. Still, McCollum doesn't like to call timeouts. I get coaching philosophy and what you got to do, but Tavion Banks took the drive, went off his knee, and we know the way that it played out. I'm with you, though, when we look big picture, the moral victory part of it, it is hard, but they played hard. They played tough. They played against a Michigan team we have seen so many times this year has looked like the best team in the country, and they went toe-to-toe with them.
Yeah, and it's not a Michigan team that had nothing to play for either. Yes, they had already won the Big Ten tournament, Big Ten regular season outright. Yes, they're probably going to be a number 1 seed no matter the results the rest of the way. But they were also looking to become the first Big Ten team to go undefeated on the road since that Indiana team went undefeated all season long. That's the last time we saw a Big Ten team go undefeated on the road. So it was a Michigan team that had something to play for. They weren't just rolling over and, letting Iowa rub their belly a little bit like a cat on a Sunday afternoon. They were trying. And for Iowa, the game plan that McCollum put together, the way that the Hawks were able to fight through this, you talked about the adversity when they were down by 10 points. For how Iowa to come back in this game, to force nearly 20 Michigan turnovers, they're right there. It was a game in which Iowa, for them to pull off the upset, Trent, they needed everything to go right. And they just missed it by a couple marks.
It was that close to being a victory. All right. So as we're here live on the air on KXnO and also with our video stream on KXnO Radio on YouTube, I do see something maybe a little bit funky happening over there. I'm going to come test your mic here for
my side.
So, yes, I know. On your side. That's the last thing that we want. Before that, though, we're going to try our first other thing here. I'm going to bring up this where we play our audio during the radio show. We're kind of going behind the scenes here for a little bit for our listeners right now in the 10 o'clock hour.
It's a good time to do it at 10 o'clock.
Absolutely. This is the time to do it. Let's go back to the first half and one of the few times that we saw Iowa be able to make some shots from the outside. Bennett starts late in the first half, back-to-back triples.
Bennett, step back 3 over Cheddar. Good. Finally. And what a pressure basket with Cheddar at 6'8", right in his kisses. Hawks looking for the lead with 37 seconds again. Starts back-to-back. Shooting Comet. You could see it in his eyes. He said that first one's down. Here comes number 2.
You look at how Bennett Sturts started the game. He was 1 of 9. He was 1 of 9 at that point from the floor. And we know just how good Bennett Sturts is. And we know his shot creating ability. We know his shot making ability. We know about all of that. He starts the game 1 of 9, doesn't show any lack of confidence in any way whatsoever. So for him to be able to step up and hit those threes like that, to hit the first one, and it's a nice shot where he created his own thing, and go back to this is a little different. The echo's on. No, it's still there. We're so like we said, for Sturts to be able to get that first one, and you see that first one go down. When he brings the ball back down offensively for Iowa on that second possession, the second clip we played, you knew he was going to shoot that ball immediately.
Absolutely.
You knew that was leaving his hands. Yep. You could see it in his eyes. That's literally what Ball said in the play. You could see it in his eyes. He knew he was going to shoot it, and he knew he was going to make that one.
That is the Bennett Sturts that you needed. And I thought a couple of too many times dribbled in, not to get to the rim, but dribbled to get that 14-footer, 12-footer to get in right before the paint. And obviously with the Michigan size, I mean, we're talking about going up against one of the biggest teams in the country. And that physicality, that size definitely is a difference maker. I want to see that so much. Now, when my 6-year-old son is yelling at the Hawkeyes in the first half to stop shooting 3-pointers,
you know what? Let's go.
Jack's basketball IQ is growing. And I love that.
They were 1 of 13 at one point. Jack knows.
Stop shooting 3-pointers. You can't make them. That was a direct quote from 6-year-old Jack Condon tonight.
He knows ball.
He balled that way because his dad was, he had different words that he was using on television.
A little more colorful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So language is flying as it normally does. Lucas, I think I've told you this before. There is still nothing that I get in sports more viscerally angry about than Iowa. I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's something, some deep recesses of how I grew up and how important Iowa basketball was, but I don't get that way for football. Yeah, I get frustrated. I get upset as a fan. I have those kind of things that happen, but there's something about Iowa basketball that still to this day, as a middle-aged man at 45 years old, and I get so mad.
Were you getting there when they were 1 of 13 from 3?
I was right there with them. Jack, you're exactly right. You absolutely nailed it.
Get Jack a goal tie. Get him on the sideline. Let's go.
He'd be into it. The Michigan point guard, who
Cadell.
Yeah, Cadell. He was called for foul at one point where he's 2-arm shooting. And then afterwards, he's over there, John. And then he throws his head back. This I'm blaming your generation for. Your generation. This is a scourge upon basketball at all levels. The throw your head back when you get bumped. I hate it. I'm at the point now. You as referee, make this happen. Automatically. If your head snaps back, you're clean up. So this is worse to me than flopping. This has gone to another level. The throw your head back rap, and he was a big culprit of that tonight. It drives me nuts.
First into the early 2010s. That was where Grayson Allen made his money in college, other than tripping people. That's where Grayson Allen made his money at Duke. It's funny you're talking about looking for contact. I'm going to fast forward here to the end of the game. The possession for Iowa before the quote last one. Okay, they were still down 2. It was the possession before that Michigan travel on the inbounds play. When Bennett first got that half a foot of separation, right? Trent, I was not happy that he went for the contact there.
I'm right there with you
because he had the shot, and it would have been a tough runner going away from the hoop. But he was looking for the contact there. And that was tightly called. So there was a chance that they were going to call it. There was a chance. But I would have preferred if Bennett Sturts just went up with the shot normally instead of looking for the 2 free throws.
Yeah. And we saw that a couple of too many times. That's the other thing with Sturts. He is so good when he turns the corner and just goes to the 10.
He's so fast. He doesn't look fast, but he's fast.
And he's 6'4". He's got size. He's got ability. Enough athleticism to get up there. I want to see more of that. And that's something that I've complained about last month, as we've seen this team take the step back that we've seen out of them. Is there too much relying on the 3-point shot? It's not a 3-point team. There's just not.
What could you tonight?
Good question.
I know we went 5-7 last game. It was a really good game.
It was.
Best in a Hawkeye uniform.
Iowa finishes 7 of 26 from the 3-point line. That includes Bennett Sturts 4 of 14. Take that away. 3 of 12 from the remaining players, including 1 of 4 out of Cooper Koch, 1 of 4 from Isaiah Howard. Tate Sage goes 1 for 2, and 0 for 2 for Big Al and Merrill Poole Garris.
Remember the 1-3 that Howard did make? It was banked in. It was banked in and it rattled home. It was that, and then I think his next 3 minutes all came after that. All 3 of them were long.
Yeah,
all 3 of them. One of them might have been a patented Isaiah Howard airball.
Yes, he's doing one of those every game.
He loves airball long. He loves it.
So let's play another audio clip. Let's get the final possession here. Again, we're playing around a little bit. KXnO after dark, Trent Condon and Lucas Strain. I have a feeling, though I fixed Lucas's mic for the stream on YouTube, when we did that, this is something we're going to have to figure out, because when I play audio from here, I think we're going to be back to the echo. Yeah, so let me flip it on. So that's what we've learned here tonight, is audio clips off of our left corner. I'm also talking to Sean and Tyler and Connor and the whole crew. We'll go back and go back and figure things out here. This is going to be our next thing that we'll have to figure out with the video stream, because the stream is working on this computer. Maybe we'll have a different computer that has a screen that's talk to. We could go that route, but we're just learning in the process here, as we're also reliving what was a frustrating at times, very fun times. How about the crowd tonight, Lucas?
So I don't know if you were talking to anybody who was in the arena, and I was talking to somebody. I had tickets that I could have gone tonight. I ended up making the decision not to. We decided to do this anyway. Don't worry.
It made me feel bad.
No, I would storm the court like I had to. I would have had to storm the court, right? Was it their last game? Last home game was not Nebraska, was it?
Last home game? No, last day.
Oh, that's right. So it wouldn't have been 4 storms in a row for Iowa. Okay. Anyway, so I was talking to people who were in the arena, and they said it was so loud you could not hear when play was stopping. I don't know the last time that it happened in men's games, and that is something that I truly, truly care about. Is that maybe that's the biggest win of the entire season, and obviously playing a team like Michigan of that caliber, a team that is that good, the crowd is going to show up, right? But for the crowd to show up and have that kind of passion, for the team to play with that kind of effort, and the fans to rebound around them and be right there in it, on their feet for the last 10 minutes of the game, that's something we haven't seen out of Iowa men's basketball for a very, very, very long time. So seeing that tonight gives me hope for the future, Trent.
I'm right there with you. And hope that this team can go out there, play another good game on Sunday. I've always liked the matchup against Nebraska. I just think they match up better when you look at the way that they're built and the way that they play.
Same.
I think it's a style that just works for Iowa against that team. They're going to be walking into a horse test. We know that the crowd's going to be ready.
Yep.
They're going to be fired up. They're going to be ready to go. But we go back to a year ago. That Nebraska team was still playing for an NCAA tournament a season ago. That was an Iowa team that was not playing for that at the end of last year. Let's say a miracle in the Big Ten tournament. They went over there and won that game. That was a tough environment last year. I don't think the environment is going to be overwhelming by any means or anything like that. It's just Nebraska. Look, if they hit 12 3-pointers, Iowa's going to be in trouble. If they don't, if it's a rugged game like we saw in Iowa City, then Iowa's going to have a chance going into the final 10 minutes of the game.
Important thing to note here is that Nebraska does not play a game during the week this week. They have not. So they haven't played since that UCLA game. What was that, on Tuesday? So they're still coming off that 20-point loss coming back home.
That is definitely interesting. I do wonder about that and the way that that's certainly going to play out as we're playing around with some settings here, trying to figure some different things out. And now I wonder, I think maybe my mic went off there on the YouTube stream.
Figuring it out. So there's the last possession.
Yeah.
And I'm calling this one the last possession, the one where Iowa could have tied the game down 2 points. Trent, what are your thoughts on Tavion Banks driving to the rim there? Because you see reactions on Twitter, you see reactions in text group chats. You hear people saying that they're pissed at Tavion Banks for driving there.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on how that last possession played out?
I wanted right away, as soon as he touched the ball, right back to Bennett. I thought it was as simple as that. You got to give it right back to him. But it's a senior trying to make a play. And I think it was a wrong decision. I can't kill a guy for that, though. It's not a spot where there was still 20 on the clock. I mean, we were getting down there.
I think there was 7 when the ball went off his leg.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting down to 10 seconds. You got to move. You got to do something. And I didn't love it.
It was 4, actually. It was 4 now that I think about it. So that's how much time was left. 4 seconds left. Sorry, go ahead.
You got to turn and go, right?
Mhm.
And yes, the right move was, I think we all probably thought, to get it to Bennett Sturts, but to kill a guy trying to make a play,
Mhm.
I can't get there. Not in that situation, not with the time and the situation. I just didn't think it was something where we need to be going after Tavion Banks for
No, I'm with you. Obviously, you want Bennett Sturts. You want him to be the one taking the final shot, right? In all your dreams, you're hoping that he's taking a go-ahead three and it finds the bottom of the net. Iowa goes up by 1 with less than 5 seconds to go. He had the ball and he created no separation, nothing against Yaxelborg against Lindeborg in that final possession. Yaxel Lindeborg. He created no separation whatsoever. When Banks got the ball, he had the matchup advantage. He had the spot, the size, and he had the speed. It was just a great defensive play by the Michigan player. I think that's what it comes down to. With how much time was left and the advantage that Banks had, I'm not too upset with him driving that ball in that situation. It was just a great defensive play.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is one of the best 3 teams in the country.
Yes.
At minimum.
Mhm.
And very well could be the team that ends the streak in the Big Ten. I don't think that's a stretch either.
No.
That this Michigan team avenges their loss against Duke, maybe in the national championship game. They're that talented. They're that good. And they can beat you a bunch of ways. It's not a great 3-point shooting team, but you give them open ones, they're going to knock them down. And we saw that also tonight at different spots in this one. Yaxel, that dude is a stud.
He's Big Ten Player of the Year.
And why they didn't go through him more, I'll never understand.
No, the big-to-big connection that they had when Yaxelborg had the ball either on the wing or the wing extended, so up towards half court, and they were able to just think of how many times tonight, Trent, we saw them just throw the ball to the rim where Mara was, and he would just catch it, come down, and just lay it right back up, or he would dunk with while barely even jumping. It was clear in around the 10-minute mark of the second half, from about 12 minutes to 8 minutes. That's what their entire offensive game plan was we're just going to go to Mara and we're going to let him use his size down low.
It is a special edition KXnO After Dark with Trent Condon and Lucas Strain here on 106.3 KXnO, reacting to the Iowa loss to Michigan 71-68. Also, a couple other things of note. Lucas will be back with you tomorrow at 2. I'll be back at noon with Ken. You'll be on tomorrow from 2 until 5 o'clock. And of course, we get things started at 6 a.m. with Heather and with Alec Bussey. Drake got a win.
Surprised. I'm shocked.
Hot start. And then when Southern came back and took the lead, even late in the first half, like, oh, they're cooked. And they just kept hanging around, hanging around. I was just absolutely floored by that one. But they have no shot against Belmont tomorrow, do they?
No, I don't think so. You know, you've obviously seen Happy Gilmore, right?
No, absolutely.
And
have I seen Happy Gilmore?
When Adam Sandler goes, Happy learned how to putt. My thinking was, Drake learned how to play defense.
Yes.
Because Southern's not a bad offensive team, but I think they were down 31-27 at halftime. And that's where I'm with you, Trent. I'm going, yeah, they're cooked. They're done. And Southern's going to be able to run away with this. So for Drake, they're on a 9-game losing streak going into this game. Are you kidding me? Like, the vibes are low. This Southern team just went into the Knapp Center and beat them by 5, 2.5 weeks ago. So I'm definitely thinking, oh yeah, they're done. I don't give them much shot against Belmont. However, they were beating Belmont by 20 points.
Oh, that was the big comeback game.
That was the one they blew the big lead. So they know what it takes to take the lead against Belmont, against the Bruins. But it's a matter of can they do it for a full 40?
And the nightcap at the MVC tournament this evening, the 6th seed, the UNI Panthers, in a tussle with the Purple Aces.
Didn't see this one coming. I didn't. You did.
This is before you were born. But one of my buddy's favorite things growing up in the 90s, Evansville had basketball jerseys, normal basketball jerseys. Well, they're not normal. They're polyester. That's kind of what we had in the 80s and into the 90s. Yes, polyester uniforms still at that point. They had sleeves on them. And that's all I can think about still to this day is Evansville and their sleeved jerseys that every single guy had to wear. It is the most asinine look. I got to find a picture and send it to you. That's all I can ever think about with Evansville is the sleeve jerseys.
Like short sleeve, like what the Cavs wore in the 3-1 comeback?
Yes. No, I mean, even worse than that. I mean, it went down even further than that.
Baggy? Was it baggy?
No,
or
it wasn't
tight?
baggy. It had like a cuff almost on the bottom.
Oh, like a football jersey, kind of.
You don't realize what we had to go through
I did.
back in the day. One of my best, probably one of the only good things I did for Osage Athletics, because I certainly didn't help on the court or the field or anything else on the track, whatever it was in 7th grade. we had to wear still the old uniforms from like the 70s and 80s. And they had the short shorts.
Oh,
I didn't have anything other than boxers. My family also didn't have a lot of money, so I wasn't going to ask my mom, hey, can you go get me some skivvies? And plus, you're 7th grade. That's embarrassing in its own right.
Yeah.
But my boxer shorts would literally fall below the short shorts.
Doesn't surprise me.
I begged our coach, can we please get different shorts or just all wear black shorts? So we got that. And we all got to wear black shorts, even still with the old polyester Osage uniforms from 1978 in 7th grade. We were able to all just wear black shorts. And this was also circa like 1994, Fab 5. Guess whose shorts went down to their ankles? This guy over here.
Look at you following the trends. You were the school that wore the mismatched top jersey bottom.
It was better than my underwear falling out of my basketball shorts. Nobody wanted to see that.
7th grade.
7th grade. Got that changed. That was one of the few highlights as we look back. You and I, 56-52. They try to move on there. The second betting choice coming into action as well. The Panthers were, even with the extra game they'd have to win a championship.
We talked about this off the air a couple of days ago. I was shocked to see the number that we got for you and I.
Yes.
I was fully planning on taking you and I, even though a team playing on Thursday has never won the Valley Championship. Only one team playing on Thursday has never even made it to the Valley Championship. I was ready to take the UNI Panthers, #1 defense in the country. I was ready to take them, hoping I got a good number. At plus, 450, 460, 470? I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, DraftKings had a plus 450. I know Circa at one point had plus 475, but still, with that extra game, only one team's even got to the championship game that's had to play in the opening round. That was Valpo a couple of years back, as they came back and survived Indiana State earlier today on theirs. But I was with you. I thought we'd get maybe, could I get a 9-1, at least 8-1? I'm willing to take a flyer on that. I think they could make a run. Certainly not at that price, but they look to hang on and struggling with the Purple Aces, 57-52 now in that one. Well, one more thing as we're playing around here, KXnO After Dark, and trying to figure out some things. Let's take a listen, if we can. Well, yeah, we still got the echo, even when I flip on the studio computer left there.
This is why we toy with things at 10:22 at night.
This is why it happens. Yeah, we don't want to do this during the day. If you're out and about this evening, apologies, as things have been a little bit goofy here, but we're just having fun, trying some things out, and that will be our next T that we have to cross here, figuring out how we're going to do that. You'll be excited. Maybe you'll have to make everything into a cart. You'll get real excited about that one.
It's a new day and age, all right? There's video involved. I got to find something to fill up my day with here.
Yeah, that's right.
Taking care of the video stuff.
Yes.
It's going to be Lucas Strain's job.
Full-time man.
Yeah.
You going to put together graphics for StreamYard, do all that stuff?
I am the graphics guy, Trent. That's what I do. They're very structured. They're all going to look the same.
You shouldn't have said that out loud to me, because I got ideas. Well, you know I'm an idea man. Execution sometimes lacking, but I've always got ideas. I'll just throw them your way.
What's the point of having the Photoshop account if I'm not going to use it?
Use it, because you've seen my stuff. It's not very good. That is not a strength of mine. Again, our generation gap definitely shows on those kind of things.
Yeah.
The idea's all right. The execution, not so much. Now, you don't fall into the trap of AI, do you?
No.
Yeah.
I'll use AI for like inspiration.
Yep.
I'll use it for that. But then after that, I got to make it on my own.
Yeah. I made a graphic for the girls semifinal yesterday. I actually kind of liked it. It looked a little
They all
weird.
look the same.
Yeah, they do. Isn't it? You can tell right away, like on social media.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Snap of a figure. Oh, yeah.
I know
where that came from.
I can tell immediately.
Chat GPT.
That's the free one. You go to the free one.
Yep. And you can tell every single, the font, all that.
It's the exact same every single time. Same exact design, same exact theme, same exact font, same exact lettering, like size-wise. It's always the exact same.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this was fun, Lucas. It's fun too. We don't get to do this very often, obviously, as our shows are back-to-back. So not a whole lot of crossover with you and me, but it is good to reconnect, talk on the air a little bit, even for us Hawkeye fans, a frustrating what could have been. And boy, that win against Michigan. And then we get back into, for a moment, they would have won that game.
Oh, I was dreaming. And
then we're like, well, can you get back to a 7 seed? Like all those things.
I was ready to go to bball.nothing.net. I was ready to go.
Now they're basically locked into the 9 seed.
I know
there are a few other iterations that are out there, but I saw percentages break down. It was like 80% going into tonight that they're going to be the number 9 seed in the Big Ten tournament. And with it, that'll be a rematch against either Maryland or Oregon. Now, they dominated the Ducks last time out, lost to Maryland in the second matchup that they had with the Terps. Who would you rather see in that opening round, Oregon or Maryland, between those two squads, who would be the one that you would prefer in the opening round?
What's Biddle's health?
He's back. He's playing, but it's been inconsistent. Played really well when he came back against, what was that, Purdue?
I think so.
Yeah.
They only lost that game by like 5.
But then there's been times that he looks like a guy that is certainly out of sorts.
I mean, I would be pretty. That was maybe their best offensive game of the season, the game against Oregon out west. But again, Biddle didn't play in that game. Maryland, obviously, we know what happened this season. They split with them. Iowa dominates them at home, and then they lose horribly on the road. Which one would I prefer to see? The Biddle factor just it scares me just a little bit. So I think I would want to play Maryland.
Yeah, it's Maryland for me. I'm looking at Biddle's game log since he's come back. He scored 23, 15, 22, 15, 14, 20, 19, 15.
Yeah, I'll take Maryland.
Yeah. Give me a rematch against the Terps. I would feel much better against that than having to battle Biddle, even as well as Cam played tonight. And that's another guy. Talk about credit tonight. He played his butt off in a tough spot against a big team. Man,
I thought best game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And why isn't that more consistent from him? I know he's undersized.
Yeah.
But he's still around the rim. And tonight I'm not going to kill him for any of those misses against that team with that size. Like, you have to play angles a little bit different. You have to do things a little bit different around the rim. But that consistency, he's got another year in front of him. Maybe that can pop. If they can get a true center, play him along, maybe catch a little bit more at the 3. I would like to see it because there's just certain matchups that for him are so difficult, but he's playing some good basketball here down the stretch.
He is. He actually had the second most minutes tonight. He played 28 minutes in this game.
That's a lot.
Foul trouble was obviously he ended up fouling out in the game, but one of them was a purposeful foul with 4 seconds left. Banks, the foul trouble, those 2 fouls in 10 seconds, fouls 3 and 4. And they were obvious fouls. They were very clearly fouls for how the game was being called. Especially the third one was very obviously a foul. The fourth one for how the game was being called. Those two can stay out of foul trouble. Like, my goodness, they can be really, really, really good players.
Well, Lucas, we are out of time for this evening. Appreciate you hanging out with me here tonight. We tested some things. We found some things out. And we got to get a few people over to our YouTube page again.
Did we get people watching?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's 10:30 at night.
It's 10:30 at night.
And we put out a tweet like 2 minutes before we went on.
Exactly. Let's see. We got some comments in here. Look at this. Oh, yeah. I don't even know. Can you see the comments on your side of the stream?
I haven't on StreamYard. No. Oh, I can.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, we got a bunch of messages in there. Wish I had a 6-5 streak. Maryland Revenge Game. Look at that. Look, we're interacting. We can do other things that we can be doing here. So this is fun. I'm looking forward to us launching the video side of what we do every single day here on KXnO. And they'll get started in the morning here, coming up in 7.5 hours.
We got T. Hanks commenting. How's the notebook going at least? 1 and 3.
1 and 3. Sounds like a Trent Condon kind of night.
Trent, I was green 7 days in a row.
They allowed that to happen?
I was in the green 7 days in a row. But here's the thing. They were all 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. I was up like maybe 4. I was up 6 units in 7 days.
Okay.
I was barely making it. I went 1 and 3 tonight.
This evening is not going well for me. But we are 3 and 3 on the day. 5 and 3 projected, though, as I got Evansville plus a 15.5.
3-point game, 4 minutes left.
Now, why did they give me a projected win here? I got SEMO tonight, Southeast Missouri State.
High game.
Yeah, they're laying 2.5. That's not a projected win.
No.
Come on, Action Network.
You got a future on SEMO.
We do. A lot of futures. I didn't dig out of the hole.
I got one future in every conference, except for the NEC. I didn't take the Northeastern Conference.
The NEC, that is one where home court advantage really matters. I just remember that talking point from my guy Stucky.
Did you see what they were doing last night? They so on the official NEC YouTube account, they had a guy who was playing with all 4 games at the same time because it's on home court venues. They had a guy streaming all 4 games, and it was Scott Hansen, NFL Red Zone, because you saw every single game was a 1-possession game with less than a minute to go. Yeah, they literally had him doing Scott Hansen.
That is
for NEC basketball. It was awesome.
Oh, absolutely love that. We had a near monster upset. You were telling me about Navy almost falling after a 17-1 run through the Patriot League.
Yep.
Look at that.
Minus 150 favorites to win the conference tournament.
Oh, yeah. And I was not laying that price, certainly. Michigan State battled past Rutgers tonight. It was 91-87.
That turned close. They were up They were up almost 20, I want to say.
Rutgers came battling back, and again, you and I still in a tussle, so we're going to turn off the microphones and send it back to national programming. So I want to watch the end of this Panther game. 405 left to go in that one. You and I leading 57-54. Again, thanks for hanging out with us here this evening. KXnO After Dark with Lucas Strain and Trent Condon. We send it back now to regular programming, already in progress on 106.3 KXnO.
What goes better with a meal? Bacon. At Heartland Steakco, they take their bacon seriously. From their double smoked hickory to their honey jalapeno, which brings sweet and spicy together for the perfect combination, to their all-new bacon flavors like whiskey peppercorn with its smoky richness, to their applewood double smoked bacon that's smoked over
real applewood chips, to their all-new maple bourbon bacon, which brings out the subtle notes of maple and bourbon for a rich taste. Heartland Steakco has your bacon and USDA Midwestern beef ready to ship and delivered straight to your door. Don't wait. Order today for yourself, a